welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today I have a thrift haul / go thrift with me. I went thrifting when I was home for the holidays, which yes, it's by now pretty far from the holidays. I am using this as like content for when I'm just a little bit busy in life and I need a little bit of a break. So I'm going to be putting in all of my holiday thrift stories throughout the year. But I wanted to show you what I got as well as take you along with me. So first we're gonna jump into the footage and then we'll do the haul. So I will see you and past me at the thrift shop. Oh wow, I'm looking interesting today. We are at our first thrift shop. I'm actually doing these backwards from the normal order I do. I decided to go like most far away to closest because the weather is best today for driving. Always keeping an eye on the weather, you know. Goal for this trip is skirts. I want to find a pair of black wool pants. I am also looking for specifically silk cardigans because those are my favorite to wear in the winter, and I have hulked out of a few of my old ones, so I need to go ahead and find some new ones that are within my size range. So yeah, we're gonna go looking for that. This thrift store is usually pretty good for all these things, and then of course I'll look at dresses and art supplies and all that jazz because that's how I am. So we're gonna go in. First up in the fitting room are these like 80s light denim pants. However, they're a little bit sheer in the butt and I don't have time to that. I don't want to figure that out, so they're gonna be a no. They're also a wee bit tight in the hips. Up top is this really fun sweater vest. I would have considered getting it. It's hand knit, but whoever knit it did a bad job with the bottom stitch, and it's incredibly limited around the bottom, like in how much it stretches, so it's really uncomfortable to get on and off. This here is just a very plain teal turtleneck. However, it does the job and I do like it. And then underneath that, it's hard to tell, but I have this burgundy plum vintage Pendleton skirt. It's really gorgeous, but it does not fit me. Next up we have this cute little beaded number. I really liked this, it's not quite my style, even though I think it fits fairly well, and the beading was really pretty, and I do think the silhouette was pretty. The other thing was the waist was way too low on me. I would want it quite a bit higher to wear this, but it is a cute dress. And this is, I believe, a wool and tailor dress. It is gorgeously made. I was highly tempted, but it was a little tight in the arms and a little loose on the shoulders. And now we're out and about in the fabric section. This arc has the best fabric section of all. I really love this, but there's no reason for me to buy it. I wouldn't wear anything made of it, but I thought it was fun. And I also really liked these little pumpkin pieces, but they weren't big enough for a garment. That is usually the problem with things here. There's definitely enough for a garment, but I don't really wear that much yellow. This I thought was so fun. I didn't get it, but they were little like Christmas ducks, and I thought it was adorable. I just don't wear red. And then yeah, I'm just looking away. Like I said, this is usually the best fabric section of all the thrift stores, so it's really fun to see what I can find here. There's also a whole bunch of this like satiny lining stuff. I was tempted, but not enough. It is a good, obviously it's at the thrift store, so it would be a good price for lining, but I was just feeling a little bit too picky. There is a lot of holiday fabric here though, that is for sure. And now I'm just kind of cruising along. I did not think about the fact I'm gonna lack light for probably my next check-in. I'm trying to do 3 thrift stores today. We'll see if I'm successful. I'm at my second arc. This is the brand new shiny arc that's pricing is a little delulu, so we'll see what I can even buy here, but I'm quite pleased. The last arc I spent $17 and I'm trying to budget only $20 per store. So we're doing pretty well there. We'll go in and see what this one is doing, and if their prices are still wild, I won't be getting much. First up, we have this pleated wool gray skirt that is pretty long. I think it's pretty cute and it does fit me, which is always exciting. And then yes, I know it looks like I'm wearing the exact same skirt, but this is actually a shorter skirt and it is a navy blue, and again it fits really well. I would have been incredibly tempted by this one if it was not too tight on the arms, but this is like a really fun, I don't know if it's a genuine 80s number or like a faux 80s number. I felt like really fun and like I was gonna go to like a prom or something in this dress. It is super cute. But yeah, it was just a little too small on my arms. However, I am thinking of how I can pick up a polka dot fabric like this. And here I have on nothing too exciting. It is just a black cardigan and then a light pink turtleneck. So nothing thrilling here. And then I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was so cute, but it fit me very poorly. It was this little pink cardigan. It was also pretty itchy. I guess this lighting works well enough. It looks like I'm not too creepy looking. So we're at the last thrift shop. We are at the Goodwill. This one's pretty small, which is why I feel okay tacking it on to the end of two pretty big ones. So we'll see what's in this one. This one is really hit or miss, but when it hits really well. So we're gonna see what we can find here. The biggest thing, there's no changing rooms, which is very frustrating. So I will have to use my trusty measuring tape and go from there. Alrighty, we are back another day. I am out in front of, you can see it behind me, the second Goodwill I go to. So I didn't take any footage in the last Goodwill, and that's for a few different reasons. They don't have a fitting room, and it was kind of a quick look in and get out because they started using these. I worked at a retail shop that had these. They're like these scent dispensers that are really, really strong. Back then they didn't give me a headache, but now I got a headache pretty fast being in that Goodwill, so I got out pretty quickly. I'm hoping this Goodwill is not using that same technology. The last Goodwill I spent $11 in, so I'm now 2 under and 1 over on my thrift store budgets. We'll see, I guess, what we find here. I anticipate being kind of pretty quick here, and you might not get footage again. So I will either check in with you in a second, or I will show you some footage. While perusing eHomewares, I found this cute strawberry dish. I was so tempted by this. If I found it in Seattle, I might have considered it, but in Denver, it's just too hard to get home. There was also quite a bunch of cute little teapots, and I really liked this jar with a pig on it, and I think I maybe found something I wanted. And here I just wanted to show you these skirts. These are all kind of like rayon-y, like 80s skirts that I'm kind of bummed didn't fit me. Actually, this one's wool, and it has a really cool pattern as well as a button-up placket, which you just don't see that often, but I just thought the texture of the pleats and the fabric was really interesting. And then this one here was another one of those kind of rayon-y skirts. This one was actually probably polyester, and it did not fit me either. Definitely way too small, but I thought the roses were pretty. All right, we are at thrift store number 2. So that last Goodwill, I was pretty quick in and out of just because I don't enjoy shopping there anymore. It's kind of too overwhelming to have like a gajillion round things to shop instead of just aisles, but they do have the scent things there. However, their store is 2 times, maybe 3 times the size of the other Goodwill store, and they had 2 scent things going throughout the store, as opposed to the other one had 3 for being like a third of the space. So I could actually tolerate the scents and not get a headache at this Goodwill. So that was nice. But now we're gonna head into our final thrift store. This is always a favorite, so we'll see how we do here. First up, we're starting pretty weak with this denim number. It was fine. I just know I could make one that's cuter in this style than this one, and I do have denim on hand to do that, so I decided to say no to this. And what I'm trying to show you here, but not doing a very good job of, is these are a really nifty pair of adjustable pants. So you like lift up a little clip and it slides back and forth, and it's actually into the pocket what you're adjusting for, but it makes it like an adjustable black pant. I was so tempted, but it barely fit me on its biggest setting, and I just didn't think that was a good investment for me. But I thought these were really cool. It feels like no matter where I am thrifting, I can always find more of this set. I don't know what these are that have the little holes in the bottom, so tell me if you know, because I don't know how those would be useful. I have a bunch of these mugs that you see up here, and I was considering the teapot, but I just don't have a good enough reason to own one, so. And then another home good I found here, we seem to be kind of on a roll with these. I don't know, again, what type of like dish this is, if it's for like a salad or what, but this one was blue. I thought it was really pretty. And again, if we had been in Seattle, I might have been tempted to bring it home. But that's it for the footage, and now we'll jump into the haul. All right, you have seen the footage. Now I'm sure you're curious what I took home. I'm quite happy with this haul. I stayed pretty much actually under budget, and almost everything I got was on my list. So I'm pretty excited about that. So to start, this one was a thing not on my list. It's this really beautiful etched glass wine glass that I like, and it was $2.69. This was from the first arc. The big find of this arc was this beautiful Pendleton purple pencil skirt. It does not fit me. I picked it up to resell it because I picked it up at $2.70, and I'm pretty sure I can make my money back on that because it's Pendleton. Pendleton actually weirdly doesn't sell well at these thrift stores, and I just hated the idea of this garment possibly going to landfill. So I have this listed. I will have listed this back in November, so it might already be gone, but you can always go check all my different selling places for it. Another thing I got there was this teal turtleneck, which I got for $4.31. This is just a nice color that will go with a lot of, I wear these a lot of times under my Christine Foley sweaters or various dresses. They're like undershirts, and so it's nice to have some different colors in case I want to wear a color to go with something. And I've been looking for some more pastel colors of these. The next thing I got, I am only allowed to pick up slips if they are in an interesting color or pattern. This blue stripes fit that bill, so I picked it up for $3.23. And then the last thing I picked up at this thrift shop is this fabric. This is just like a nice woven pink fabric. It's like kind of almost under the homespun category because it's both sides. Like the pattern is woven into it, it's not printed. I liked all these colors. I thought it would make like a nice little shirt, and I paid $4.31 for this. So the total at this first thrift store was $17.24. The next thrift store was one of the ones I went the most over at the next thrift store. So first thing I got there was this pink nylon set. This is the top, which I'm gonna sell because I picked it up actually for the pants, but it came as a set, and then I fully refurbished the set by putting in buttons and just cleaning it up a bunch. So that will now be ready to sell. What I truly bought it for was the bottoms. The bottoms are these long nylon pants. I like to have these like long weird nylon pants for if I have like a pair of wool pants that isn't lined, I can basically just wear this and give it a lining. The other thing, I already replaced the elastic in it. The elastic in it was not great, so I already went ahead and did that. But this pink set was $4.27, which was definitely worth it just for the pants. Next, I'll talk about the black cardigan. I had cardigans on my list that were specifically silk in this cut. However, this is cotton, so it will work perfectly for me. So I am going with the cotton cardigan. It fits great, and it was $4.27. I'm so glad. I was looking at a few of these on Poshmark that all would have been around like $15 to $30. I'm so glad I waited till I could hit the thrifts and was able to pick this up for so cheap. And the last two things I picked up there, you saw me try these on. They're these beautiful wool pleated skirts. I've already washed them. They're already in good shape. This gray one from Talbot's was $10.67. I read the label as $6.69 instead of $9.99. I might not have picked this up if I knew it was $9.99. I'm not gonna lie. It is cute, and I'm sure I'll wear it, but I wasn't prepared for that price. And then my blue Pendleton was $7.46. This is a great price on a Pendleton. I felt just very lucky to find all the Pendleton I found on this trip, as well as I specifically had not necessarily wool skirts on my list, but skirts with waists that fit my current size, so I can start wearing my skirts and blouses out more comfortably. A lot of my skirts right now in my wardrobe are a little bit too tight, so I've been working on fixing that by having additional skirts in there. And for that thrift store, for 4 items, it was $26.67. So this one was the most expensive historically arc, which is funny because this time my usual arc was hands down the most expensive arc in their pricing. So it just shows that like it varies by season, it probably varies on who's in staff, and it probably varies based on, I'm sure the people who price things have a target that they need to hit of like how much they price things at. And so it might also depend on that. I don't factually know that, that's just a guess. Knowing how businesses work. I know these are nonprofits, but they're businesses. So next up, we went to our first Goodwill. I do not like this Goodwill. However, I always stop in because usually I can find 1 or 2 really nice things. And this time they did deliver. I got 2 things for a total of $11.86. This first thing, and I'm not gonna try these on for you, they're basic turtlenecks. They're not that exciting, is this nice pastel pink turtleneck. I picked this up for all the reasons I told you guys about that teal turtleneck. And then I also picked up this blue sweater cotton turtleneck. I think this is really cute. It's showing more vibrant on camera, but it's actually a little bit dustier. Also, the pink turtleneck was $5.39 and this is $6.47. Fully made of cotton. The weave is really nice. It's a really nice turtleneck, so I picked it up. On to the next Goodwill. In general, I find Goodwills to be fairly overpriced, so I tend to pick up less there. But it's funny because both of these Goodwills I stayed under budget. This one I spent $16.25 for 3 items. This first item I got, I'm really excited about. This is a napkin holder, which I know that sounds really boring, but I hoard anytime I get takeout and I get that big stack of napkins. I keep those and I work my way through them. I never buy napkins as a result, which is funny because I don't even do takeout that much. It's just they put like gobs of napkins in it. So I picked up this napkin holder for $4.19 and I'm excited to have this. I currently like live in a glass on my counter and it's really ugly. And this is gonna me a much cuter solve for those napkins. The other two things I got there is I got this Old Navy top. I'm also not going to try these on for you. They're pretty basic. Old Navy is not a brand that I thrift a ton because it's usually pretty polyester based, but this is a beautiful cotton gauze top that was $7.34, and it's what I specifically picked it up for the neckline and the sleeve like poofiness, because I've been debating making a shirt that looks like this. So this will be a good thing to give me like a trial run to see if I actually like how this looks and pairs with my outfits before I put in all the effort I will need to put in to make something. Because what I'll make will be like a colorful one. It won't be this plain white. Or, you know, I could dye this plain white if the white isn't cutting it for me. That was why I picked that one up. The most exciting find. This was my most requested item from the thrift store gods. This is just a pair of 80s vintage black wool pants. These are wool, they're fully lined, they look great. I'm really excited to get to wear these this winter, and I am thankful that after all my praying to the thrift gods, they delivered. I have been looking for these for over a year, I would say, so I'm very happy. And these were super cheap. These were only $4.72. which is wild for a great pair of black wool pants. That's just like a reminder that thrifting or like buying secondhand first is not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Like I said, I've had black wool pants on my list for over a year. I kept buying pairs that when I would go home and try them on, they would be too small. If you are a 26 or 25 inch waist, I do have 2 pairs of wool pants up on my Poshmark, at least right now. Who knows when this video goes up if that will be true still. You have to wait. I don't get to just like go out and buy a pair of wool pants if I'm trying to buy secondhand first. And I prefer buying secondhand first for a few reasons. One, I don't have to vet a corporation, and 2, it's a lot cheaper, and it's also usually keeping things from the landfill. Like that pair of pants is actually going to need a smidge of work because the threads in it are doing some kind of funky things, so I'm going to have to just probably do some top stitching, which is no big deal for me. And that's the other reason I love to pick up things secondhand, is I know not everybody has the skill set or the time or even the desire to like mend things from the thrift store, but if I find something at the thrift store that fits great, I am more than excited to mend it. We are not done though. That was just a little side convo. We have the ARC number 3, which I bought 6 items from. I think this is the most I got at any of the thrift stores, and I spent $23.52. I'm not going to show you, I mean like a literal like binder, like book binder, school supply binder. It's light pink, it's cute. I got it for $1.06, and I use binders to catalog my patterns. So anytime I find a binder in a cute color, I pick it up. I just wanted to clarify that yes, I mean a book binder, not like a chest binder. So $1.06, I was excited about that. And then the other thing I'm really excited about, man, it's still sticky, I need to wash it, is this teacup set. I love it because it's one of those teacups that looks super plain on the outside, and then you like look on the inside and it's super decorative with these plums and grapes and raspberries. I did look this one up on Etsy, and it looks like it ranges about $25 to $58 for like selling it. I have no plans to sell this. This is for my own personal collection. I was trying to really find a date, which I couldn't. This was the annoying thing. They actually priced these separately, and I found the teacup first, and I was like, I'm gonna be so sad if I can't find the saucer for this, and I found the saucer. So the saucer was $1.06, and the teacup was $2.13. So exciting stuff, but I did find it, and they are now reunited, and they will live in my china cupboard. Second, or I guess third piece, or fourth, I guess, if we're going by its count, I got this little bowl. This is a $3.20 is what I spent on this, and I got this bowl because I like pasta, I like soup, and when I overheat soup, a bowl like this is good because it gives me a good surface area to cool the soup with. Well, as I get like ramen and stuff to go from restaurants, and usually I don't eat it out of what it came in, but I transfer it to like a bowl like this. So I'm sounding like I do a lot of takeout. I don't even eat out that much. I just like, when I do eat out, I want it to be as fancy and nice of an experience as possible. And I don't eat in restaurants very often. After COVID, I've gotten too paranoid, I guess. I got 2 turtlenecks. The turtlenecks here were wild. When you think about the fact I got like, my most expensive item was that wool skirt for $10 about. This turtleneck, this purple one, was $7.49, which it's fine. It's in really, really nice condition. I'm okay having paid that for it, but it just feels kind of wild for the thrift store compared to like, I think all my other turtlenecks were at least below $7, if not below $5. So it's just really interesting how expensive this one was. The really expensive one was the white turtleneck, which I picked up. Oh, it's inside out, pardon me. I picked this up because my white turtleneck I had stained. It's stained pretty bad. It's a little bit gross at this point. Like, I don't really like wearing it to work. So I need a new white turtleneck so then I can take that turtleneck, give it a really, really good wash, and then dye it a color that I like. I'm thinking a periwinkle, but I have a lavender now. So I don't know. We'll see what color that turtleneck ends up. But now I have a new white turtleneck, but it was $8.58, and that just feels wild. However, they are exactly what I was looking for, so I'm okay with that. I will say, I think after this haul, I'm not allowed to buy any more turtlenecks. I feel like I own turtlenecks in every color I could desire. Actually, this checked a lot of stuff off my thrift list. I feel like sometimes you guys ask me what like is currently on my thrift list. I would say still skirts that are my size, specifically full skirts. I feel like those two have me on pleated skirts. Pleated skirts aren't always my favorite style. So I'm looking for like full skirts. And the other thing I'm looking for, I showed you a little bit of footage of these, but I feel like I'm not finding like the 80s and 90s rayon skirts in the thrift stores in the amounts I used to. And I would really like some of those rayon skirts for the summer. So that's kind of what's on my thrift list that hasn't been checked off by here. I do always look at pants to see what fun colors I can find pants that fit me from like the 80s that are wool. I always look in all sections regardless of what I'm looking for, but I'm just less inclined to pick something up right now if it's not on my list. I do not really encourage you to go back and watch some of my old videos, but I'm really proud of myself and how far I've come in like thrift hauls. I feel like I used to just like haul stuff and to show it on this channel, and now anything I bring in my wardrobe I have to have a place for, essentially. Like literally everything that I brought in wardrobe wise was on my list. Dish wise not so much, but wardrobe wise everything in there was on my list. So I think that's a really, really big improvement, because I definitely used to just pick things up at the thrift store because it was fun and without any further thought of how it would like fit into my wardrobe, which then of course leads to like decluttering things really fast. And I was just like not happy with, you can overconsume secondhand, not obviously to the degree of like if you were to buy brand new, but I'm just working really hard on my consumption habits, and so I'm really excited to see how much I have improved. But with that, I think I am going to go ahead and sign off. I hope you enjoyed this video. I post every single Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, so subscribe and stick around if you want to see what I have in store. I have a really exciting year of content ahead. I can't wait to show you lots of good sewing projects. And then of course, if you comment down below or give this video a thumbs up, it really helps me, and I will see you next week. Bye!